Hello everyone, it is Talaya and I'm back with another video. It is Monday morning, the day after Super Bowl. I hope that you had an incredible Sunday Super Bowl. If you watched it, if you didn't, I'm sure even if you don't watch it, if you're on social media at all, that's like all anybody's talking about. I personally don't get it. I was gonna do a video on Taylor and Travis, just because there's a lot of disappointment about them like supposedly like having a proposal at the Super Bowl, but I don't know if anybody's really gonna care. So if you care, I will make a video about it. Just let me know in the comments down below. But today is more of a heavier conversation. So the Joel Osteen, who owns a mega church, he at the church between services, there was a shooting, and there was one deceased at the time of the time that the statement came out. There was one deceased and one boy that was injured. And Joel Osteen came out, and if you don't know, obviously, like, if he has a mega church, he is a Christian kind of like, I guess like Christian self-help pastor. That's like how I would describe him. Now, let me preface this by saying that I used to love Joel Osteen. My family grew up extremely religious. Not extremely, but I grew up in a private Christian school for up until I was around... What are you doing near my car? Up until I was around... I don't know. I think until I went from 4th grade, and then I went from 4th grade on to public school. But it was just... like, my family loved him, and I kind of grew up around him and listening to him, and I really did enjoy him up until like a few years ago, and I won't discuss why, but yeah, like I used to consume a lot of Joel Osteen content, and so I wouldn't say I'm biased in this situation just because I'm kind of further away from it now, I guess. But I do know kind of a little bit about him and his situation and his family and such, just because I grew around it. Anyways, so a lot of people online watched his statement, and they were criticizing him extremely heavily for his statement that he came out. There was reporters there, was everybody there, and he spoke about it, and he had this like look on his face where it was kind of like a smile, but it wasn't. It was like when you speak and you're just kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like people are really coming for him in this situation, kind of blaming him and saying that he has no remorse at all for the victims, which I don't believe is true. I don't. He did seem to gloss over the severity of it, but I think that's just like a PR stance because it's the mega church, like, what is he really gonna say? As far as him having this look on his face of smiling or whatever, it was, I can see what they're saying, I can, but it kind of, to me, looked more like a nervous smile, like a nervous grin to the mass. He's talking to the masses about a very heavy, serious conversation. So I didn't take it that way, but I do see why other people take it that way. He did seem to be in somewhat of like a good spirit when speaking about this. And I don't know, I just think like people are really attacking him for it. And he had said in his statement, he had said, thank goodness it was in between service. It wasn't the 11 o'clock service, because a lot more people would have been hurt, and people thought that was weird. I didn't think that was weird. I thought that, hold on, really quickly. I have gum in my mouth, and if it's bothering me, it's probably bothering you. Hold on. Thank you. But yeah, so he had said, like, thank goodness it was between services and like it wasn't the 11 o'clock service. And what he meant by that was like, with a shooting, if you were in a service, God knows how many people he would have killed or injured at that point, if they were just all in the room, but it was just, everybody's walking and moving around between services. So I didn't think that was weird either. I think people are taking that situation the wrong way as well. And then people were like, there's something else going on in the story. Like, he goes, there's something not right with this. And all of these comments, and it's like, I don't know. I think, because I was going to say, I don't know what he could have said differently, but as I'm thinking about it, it's like, what I think would have been received better was if he seemed more remorseful, and because he took a more like positive stance about, let's look at the good in this situation. And I think in a situation like this, people want others to feel a little bit more sympathetic to the situation. And I get that. I totally get that, because it was just like, it didn't seem like he was distraught about it or that concerned. But that doesn't mean he's not concerned. And I want to hear what you guys have to say, because it was very quick. It was very brief. It was only like a couple minutes long. And he always kind of speaks like that. If you don't know Joel Osteen and how he comes across, I think you might get the wrong idea. Once again, if you feel like I'm defending him and there is something else going on, please let me know. I understand that although I don't feel very biased in this situation, to an extent, I would have to be, right? Just because even though I don't listen to him or consume his content anymore, that at one point I did, and very heavily as well. But I think that a lot of people are thinking there's something malicious going on there, and I don't believe there is. I think that it was a very unfortunate situation, and he kind of had a PR stance when speaking to the masses about it. And I think would have also been nice is if the church had offered some type of therapy for people that feel like they need it, and that he seemed a little more upset and showed how upset he was about the situation, if that makes sense. And he didn't say anything wrong, in my opinion. I don't want to get copywritten, so I wasn't going to post like the clip on here, which is why I never post clips on here, just because so many things get copywritten, and I don't know how to deal with all that. I'm literally just a girl with a phone filming, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So maybe in the future, but yeah, it was just like a lot of hate towards him because it seemed like he was happy about the situation. I don't think he was happy about the situation at all. I think he's probably concerned about how it looks, because this is not the first time his church has kind of been in a scandal. When there was like a hurricane going on down there, they didn't let people come inside and stay in there. It's a mega church. A lot of people would have been at safety, and they didn't allow that. And he spoke about that as well. So I think he's just kind of nervous about how it's going to come across, because his church is pretty controversial in some situations. So yeah, that's how I feel about the situation. You guys let me know how you feel about it, or if you see that I'm being more biased about it. I hope you're having a great day, night, afternoon, whatever it may be. Please remember to take care of yourself. Just do something small for yourself today. It doesn't have to be buying anything or whatever. Just take care, and I will see you in my next one. And I love you, and stay safe. Bye, everyone.